Well, as the aftermath opens, we get an aerial view of the devastation caused by the bombing of Hamburg. It's 1945 and the war has just finished. Thousands of bodies are buried under the rubble. Rachel, Keira Knightly, is flying in to join her husband, British Colonel Lewis Morgan, Jason Clarke, who's been assigned to sorting out the chaos in the city. As quarters, Lewis has been given a mansion on the fringes of the city, requisitioned from the architect Stefan Lubert, Alexander Skarsgård, who lives there with his daughter Frida, Flora Lee Thiemann. Both families are living with the aftermath of tragedy. Lewis and Rachel's son was killed during the bombing of London, and Stefan's wife was similarly killed in Hamburg. Prejudices against the other side abound, particularly with Rachel and also with Frida. Lewis is a decent man, a good soldier. He doesn't want to eject Stefan and Frida to one of the camps dotting the city, and he suggests they move up to the attic, much to Rachel's horror.
What if we let them stay on?
You mean live with them?
There may not be an outward show of hatred, but it's there below the surface.
The relationship between Lewis and Rachel is fractured in their grief for their son. From an initial antipathy, something flares between Stefan and Rachel, and before too long they're indulging in a full-blown affair. Talk about a reversal of positions. It's all a bit too abrupt. And despite the beauty of Keira Knightly, she doesn't come across as a passionate creature at all. Skarsgård, however, makes the cardigan sexy, and Jason Clarke continues to impress. His international career is really soaring. There are added plot points about young Nazis who are not prepared to accept the war's end, and also the profiling of Germans to detect any Nazi affiliation. Based on a book by Ridian Brooke and adapted by Anna Waterhouse and Joe Shrapnel, the director James Kent delves once more into a wartime romance after his 2014 Testament of Youth. However, you feel that this romantic melodrama has missed opportunities. While it looks handsome and the performances are solid, you feel that there's a bit missing. The focus on this illicit affair when so much else is going on seems just a bit trite.
Yes, it certainly does seem a bit trite, and melodrama is certainly the word for this film, isn't it? It's so manipulative. You can kind of see the pieces moving even before they occur. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
the set pieces, I mean, you kind of know what's happening in this film well in advance of it actually happening.
But not enough groundwork is laid for a lot of the stuff that does happen, funnily enough.
No, it's not. And I disagree with you slightly about the acting. It's solid enough, but there are a couple of scenes, some weepy scenes that the two leading actors have that are completely and utterly unconvincing. Keira Knightly, why does she have to be in every period film? Why does she give exactly the same performance in every single period film? And Jason Clarke, he's not all that convincing in this.
I think he had the more difficult role here, you know.
It is a difficult role, true. But again, he has a weeping scene that really is quite dreadful. I mean, both of them are quite appalling in some scenes. And Skarsgård is... I mean, also, you're not quite sure whether he's actually a Nazi or not. That's all a bit unclear. And, you know, too manipulative for me, too melodramatic, chick lit, you know, for the book club crowd.
Well, you know, in fact, I believe Ridian Brooke's book is much more dense, or denser. Not sure which one to use, but...
Either would have been all right.
But you sort of feel that, you know, it needed more grist.
Yes.
And possibly it would have been better as a television miniseries where,
Yes, good point,
you
yes.
know, a lot more could have been added.
Yes.
Look, you know, I mean, it's not a bad film. I'm sure a lot of people will embrace it. It's a safe film. It's sort of like one of those, it's a wartime melodrama. 3.5 stars.
3.5 from me too.
I never thought that I could be happy like this.
Come with me. This is what you wanted.
To new beginnings.